Well, let's get me here on stream, actually. There we go. Hi, everybody. Let's... Okay. I'm guessing the background music is a little bit loud. I tried to turn it down some, so let me know if the volume's a bit high for the music as it's playing. And let me make sure that the stream announcement went out properly across Twitter and Tumblr and all that fun junk. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, we've got Twitter. Check out the Facebook page. Oh, looks like it did go up on the Facebook page. And finally, one last quick check over on the Tumblr. The Tumblr. And it went up. Okay, good. Good. Alright. Let me get the dashboard brought back up here so I can see if anyone is actually watching. And yes, today is the first episode. Well, it's day one of something that I meant to make sort of a annual thing, a yearly thing here on the PapaKennMedia channel, or well, for PapaKennMedia in general, and that is a mental health week, or maybe it's mental health awareness week. I'm kind of behind on my own stuff because I just sort of decided to do it at the last minute. And by the last minute, I of course mean today. Nightmare SX, hello! Hello and welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it, man. Let's see. I guess I just double checking on a few things just because it has been a while since I did a stream here on the Twitch channel. Let me know if the music is sort of outdoing my voice, or maybe if the music is too low. But today I'm going to be playing Actual Sunlight. And I've never actually played this game before. I've heard of it. I've heard very good things. And unless I'm mistaken, I believe it deals in the mental illness of primarily depression. Possibly some others as well, but I think that depression is supposed to be sort of its primary focus. I keep wanting to stare over here at the camera, but the camera's right here. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. It is a RPG Maker game, clearly. Okay, here we go. Actual Sunlight deals with extremely mature themes, including depression and thoughts of suicide. Player discretion is strongly advised, and this game is not appropriate for players under the age of 18. Do I want to continue? Yes. Ooh. Okay, we're getting serious pretty quick. Why kill yourself today when you could masturbate tomorrow? Okay, yep, this is gonna... this will definitely get flagged when it comes to the actual putting this onto YouTube. And actually, I wonder if I should set it to set the stream to 18 plus. I guess that doesn't matter. I also have to make sure that I make it clear every now and then that it should only be for older viewers. By Evan Winter. Oh! Hello there. I know what you're thinking. Why keep getting up? Day in and day out. Even though your life is going nowhere. Oh. No raises, no promotions. no future. And let's face it, no love. That's loud and annoying. But don't feel bad for yourself. Feel bad for exploited immigrants who have their fingers shattered while stocking shelves on the graveyard shift at monolithic retailers. Feel bad for the soldiers of pointless wars who have their arms blown off by IEDs. Feel bad for arthritic, long-haul truck drivers who need every firm grasp they have left for the dark roads and bottom-crashing races ahead. No matter how bad things get, none of those people can live the life that you can. A life of pathetic, dick-punching resignation. Hey. You're lucky. You have food, you have water, and you have shelter. Shelter that specifically includes at least one room with a locking door, an internet connection, and a computer you don't share with your elderly parents. No king leaves you too exhausted from one type of hammering to indulge in another. No bishop lives to tell you not to bash yours. There has never been a better time in the history of mankind to be completely, cripplingly, devastatingly alone. And yet here you are, thinking about giving up on the good times. Not realizing that you still have so much to live for. That there is still so much to jerk off to. Okay? After all, the world is alive. Alive with people as fat, shallow, and broken as you are. Alive with beautiful women that have been lied to all their lives. Who get on buses bound for your pornography. Alive with the seething sadness of all our breaking dreams. And I hope that you read these words and realize that there is still so much inside of you, just waiting to come out. I hope you promise yourself to live to see the day that you truly fall in love at first sight. Lock your eyes onto a look you've waited a lifetime to see. Hit the pause button, take a deep breath, and know what it would be like to be wanted, even if it isn't for the right reasons, by anybody, if only for a moment. So, I still don't control anything. CM Wheels, hello. Started watching this a few seconds ago before I put my earphones in. It was just loud enough for me to hear you talking, then the beeps. My whole family just looks at me. Relax, I'm just watching something. Tell your family I apologize, that this is definitely a more adult game, and I'm apparently going to be reading some very adult text. Speaking of which, by the way, let me know if the music is louder, or rather the background noise is louder than me actually talking, because I just want to keep that in mind. Patient transcript. Evan Winter. Why did you set your alarm for 5 a.m. every morning even though you would never get up for it? Why hit snooze for 2 hours? I wanted to start exercising. I mean, look at me. I had to. Then why didn't you? I don't know. I guess the night before, you feel like tomorrow will be different. Every night you think tomorrow is the day you're going to do it. Start exercising. Start everything. Let's see. See if I can control this with the controller. Oh, there's a big gap in between where you can actually go in this, but oh well. Dresser. Assembly instructions. Sawdust dresser. Okay. by Evan Winter. 1. Attempt to open box. Fail to do so. And rip corrugated cardboard into pieces until dresser parts are exposed. In his defense, that's a lot of us when it comes to getting the stuff out of those boxes. 2. Consider insistence of two-person assembly to be personal indictment of character and discrimination towards sad loners. Mutter homophobic indignities about uppity Scandinavians and their perfect little shoebox existences. 3. Figure out that assembly of dresser will require actual tools, and not just saying syringe thin Allen key. Syringe thin? Ew. Run downstairs to convenience store that thrives on overpriced sundries for emasculate condominium man-children. Buy knockoff Chinese screwdrivers for 3 times normal retail price. 4. Assemble dresser, periodically stopping to drink alone and stretch out re-aggravated lower back injuries. 5. Screw up assembly at the very end such that dresser looks completely fine, but drawers are fixed in place and do not actually open. 6. Turn structure around completely, exposing open rear side of dresser, and remove top drawer entirely, rendering entire dresser as giant open hole. 7. Realize that nobody will probably ever see how fucked up this is. That it wouldn't be a criteria if any girl was actually willing to come here in the first place. And that you're probably just going to leave all of your clothes hanging over furniture or stuck in the dryer anyways. 8. Live with it. Well, there you go. Oh, okay, we got more messages. Earphones are in now. I can hear you fine, but the game music volume kind of fluctuating. But that might be earphones. They're kind of breaking. That could be the background music itself. Let me see here. No, not wanting to do that. I can't get to options. Okay, so I will actually lower the volume for the game here on OBS, because it was kind of, the sound was kind of fluctuating, so hopefully that helps take care of it a little bit. Let's see. Necros is, hello. Sounds like instructions you'd need sonic screwdriver to complete. Basically, yeah. But the sonic does not work on wood, unfortunately, in most cases. And that does actually explain why the sprite for the dresser, or the pixel art for the dresser, is facing toward me. So, yeah, that was that was kind of entertaining. Let's see. E-reader. An e-reader. Definitely obsolete by now. Seriously? Wow. Okay. So this is going to be a lot of reading. Creative Writing 497Y, University of Toronto. Instructor, Evan Winter. First day lecture notes. The first thing you should know about being a writer is that it will turn you into a person who will find every excuse not to write. This person has definitely been on Tumblr, because I've heard that a lot. In fact, like many things in life, the more you want it to happen, the stupider about it you will get. A lot of people will never relate to this. A lot of people don't know what it's like to badly want something that very few people will ever get to have. And I'm not talking about money or fame, obviously. Everybody wants that. I'm talking about the deeply felt desire to say something that is painful in a way that is both beautiful and true. But without discipline, this desire will melt you into a crazy, miserable shithead. I'll give you an example. I remember when I decided that enough was enough, and that I was finally going to get serious about becoming an author. I went straight to the nearest bookstore to buy every book about writing that I could get my hands on. I was prepared to do anything, absolutely anything, except actually sit down and write. There were so many books that I felt I had to read before I could attempt to write anything that I bought a $300 e-reader instead of trying to carry them all home. Well then, of course, I also plan to actually read all of the books that I had supposedly read in school. That e-reader sat on my nightstand and collected dust for years. Oh, well then. Oh, let's see here. But it said the dresser was cardboard. No, it was talking about the box that the dresser came in was cardboard, like the kind you get from Walmart or Kmart. Well, not so much Kmart. I think they're all gone. Target, or more famously, oh no, I'm forgetting the name of the place. IKEA. Yes. Captain Jack, you've got a screwdriver. Go build a cabinet. Yes, yes. Oh, knows it was the box. I should have read below. Aw, Thor. That's literally all I could think of when you were reading it. Very good point. Very good point. I like that. Oh, let's see here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. From Junior Assistant Executive Administrator, CEO Office, to Director Corporate Communications. Subject. There is no subject. Would like you to look at the transcript below and develop new messaging for transitional compensation interviews by COB. Program is excellent, so this problem is obviously in how your shop is telling HR to pitch it. Begin transcript. Thanks for coming in this morning, Evan. Sure. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. Time and time again, I've said that the one thing we need in this company, besides our top executive talent, are young people. Young people who won't just go back to bed instead of waking up. Young people who don't just walk around in a trance as if they have no future. Young people who won't let their peers down, even when they're asked to do more with less. Sounds like it would be a shame to lose young people like that. I couldn't agree more. That's why I really hope you'll consider staying on with us, even though your compensation package will be transitioning from a direct model to an experimental one. Okay. A what? A new perspective. A new opportunity to really show us what you're made of. I just want to be completely clear on this. You're talking about no money, right? Well, the philosophy that we're embracing is something that we call life stage-based compensation. We want to hone in on exactly what the needs are for each of our employee groups based on their current life phase. So, for an employee of your age and demographic profile, we know that all you're really looking for is mentorship, energy drinks, and a very, very high quantity of work that will really give you an exposure to the professional environment that you're looking for. Yeah, that's what everyone is looking for. A huge quantity of work and doing work for nothing. Yeah, that's what everyone in their 20s, I think is when, how old this person's supposed to be, is looking for. 28. I'm 28 years old. I'm not sure what demographic profile you're thinking I fit into. There are a lot of factors there. I mean, there are people here who have families to support, and as you'll no doubt recall from our mission and vision statements, this is a family company. Okay. I watched 3 people who I know have young children leave here with boxes this morning. That's exactly why they were simply released. It would have been irresponsible of us to offer them a transitional opportunity. We care enough to get them out of here and back into the search for a paying position as quickly as possible. Oh, this is hurting my head. They have people who need them. Do you? Candidate exits, interview ends. Holy crap! Oh. No. That was years ago. I gotta get up. Okay. So, okay, we have the laptop. Review. A. Wake. The Something Awful Forums by RedWinter47. I'm posting this review because I think the community that is built up around this game is nothing but a moronic circle jerk. Oh, this is going to go well. People have taken the fact that it has some false sliver of artistic credibility and blown it out to ridiculousness as a way of feeling better about something that we all know is true about video games. That they are a shitty, an aesthetic way that we have spent our shitty and I don't know how to pronounce this correctly. I can't read. Lives. It is not great that the game has 10 different endings that require over 100 hours of average playtime to see. That's just a way of making you feel like you could be special, which is exactly what you never have. It is not romantic that the game deals with broad themes of loneliness and despair. You are actually alone. You are actually in despair. You know there is nothing romantic about it. None of it includes a longing gaze into the moonlight. It's just pizza pops and perversion until you have a stroke and your parents spend their retirement looking after you. Finally, it is not filled with rich, textured characters whose relationships and dialogue will pull at your heartstrings. It is hours of endless drivel that proffers completely childish conceptions of intimacy and togetherness for the sole and pandering purpose of tricking you into the fake warmth of delusionally believing that you relate to something that you only wish you did. And you believe these things because you are nothing. You've never read a book that didn't have a dragon or a laser gun on the cover. You live in a filthy dark room with a laptop and a soda-stained mousepad. And you play Awake not because it is about human beings, but because you desperately wish you were a human being in the first place. But you are not. You are not the hero. You are the monster. User was banned for this post. Reason. Too long, didn't read. I'm not saying that word. Wow. Wow. I'm guessing that, like, the character here is the one that wrote that. I mean, that's my assumption anyway. And that was... I'm not sure how to feel on either side. Well, I mean, I'm definitely not okay with how the, character was banned, so to speak, especially with that language. Not exactly sure what to think about the review, so to speak, either. Anyway... Let's see. From Necroz's. I'm looking for alcohol and, shall we say, intimate relationships since we are on Twitch. Oh, and bacon. I'm always up for bacon. Bacon! Okay, and... you all have basically had the same reaction I did to this game. Yes, okay. Alright, so, I guess we finally head out the door. Let's look at the chair and see what story this brings us. I screwed my back up a long time ago. Now I have a fancy chair that's probably screwing it up even more. Oh. The one thing that doesn't evoke a very long story. I used to have a desktop. It's gone now. I just use the laptop in my room. No cable. I tried an antenna, but all it picked up was static and infomercials. Still, I'm sure they're charging me for it somehow. Gaming console! This is the only reason I even own a TV. Legit. Sink. I sort of use this as a de facto garbage bin for anything that won't actually rot. Okay. It's full of plastic bags at the moment. In your sink? Never use this. Oh, I am making mental connections right now, and... Oh. Not for me, but for people I know, and that's honestly... Oh, that just made my heart sink a little bit. Alright, let's see, moving on. The fridge. I'll take a shower first. Okay. I wonder if... There we are, the shower. Okay, this sink does evoke a story. Patient transcript. Evan Winter. What is your earliest memory of disliking yourself? When I was 15 or 16, I shaved for the first time. Immediately, my skin had a vicious reaction to it. Oh, that sucks. Red everywhere. My neck and my jawline were completely covered in huge bumps and rashes. I didn't come out of my room for hours. I hate looking in mirrors or being in pictures to this day. Are you sure it wasn't just poor technique? People always ask that, or at least look like they're thinking it. But no, I tried everything. It's like piano wire stabbing your face out from the inside. Good God! And it survives beyond every four-figure shotgun solution in existence. Ah! And what happened after you came out? Nothing, really, but I knew what it meant. This was high school. You saw those kids with the horrifically scarring acne, and it isn't like this looked any better. From then on, I knew I was going to be one of those guys that girls would look away from for the rest of my life. That would be a very painful thing to believe. I guess it was the first time that I realized that you could just get dealt a shitty hand. That there could be something wrong with you, and that no matter what, you would never be able to do anything about it. In a way, I think you were lucky to get as far as you did without learning that. Think of all the reasons in the world you could have learned that sooner. Reasons that could have been much worse. I don't really know what to say about that. You only live life as yourself. Philosophical. Toilet. This place may be disorganized, but there are some things you've got to keep clean. Legit. Take a shower? Yes! Patient transcript. Oh, let's say, before I continue here, my day's just getting better and better now. Started off with my eyes sore all day, then my sugar was low and made me dizzy. Then I had pizza and got heartburn, and now I'm getting a headache. Ah, necrosis, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope the Tylenol helps out some. Yeah, really sorry to hear that, man. Do you ever have suicidal thoughts? What, you mean right now? Are you implying there are situations where you ordinarily would? I don't know. A decision like that seems like more responsibility than I could even take for myself. Sometimes I'll stand in the shower for a long time, slowly turning up the temperature of the water until it hurts. Eventually, my body seems to adjust to the pain, and I'll turn it up again and again, until it hurts so much that I can't go any further. And you think about killing yourself in this way? By burning yourself? I'm not saying that I think that this is what suicide is. I just think it's what suicide is like. So you think about suicide more than you have any specific plans to commit suicide yourself. Is that correct? I guess. How often do you think about these things? A lot. How long have you been thinking this way? A long time. And how does thinking about why you want to do this make you feel? Frustrated? Tired? Hopeless? Reminiscent? I'm going to make an assumption here. I don't know whether it'll actually be addressed in the game, But that little bit of text that appeared there at the bottom, I'm going to assume that's an intrusive thought. It's like, go to the roof of the building and jump off. Because, I mean, those intrusive thoughts like that, that's the kind of thing that can just drive you crazy. But I'm not going to get into that too much right now, but like I said, that's going to be my assumption right now, is that is an intrusive thought that just occurred. I've got a lot of things due today. I'd better eat something and get to the office. An epilogue to the weight loss book I will one day write, by Evan Winter. Before I wrote this book, I had reached a point where all I ever thought about was food. My life went from joking that nothing but pizza would give me relief in a life in which it was actually true. I'm not sure I read that right. My life went from joking that nothing but pizza would give me relief to a life in which it was actually true. Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning, knowing that eating something terrible is the only happy thing that is going to happen to you all day? Whew. You kill yourself at some horrific job that you're lucky to have, and when it's all over, all you want to do is forget about it. People say you could stop, but you're so huge by now that you realize you would have to stop for years and years on end, and that even then you still might not be good enough for anything or anyone. And by the time you do it, who can even say if anyone will be left? Still, you make a few attempts over the years because a part of you thinks you would be a completely normal person if your weight didn't disqualify you from being one in the first place. Whew, okay. Sometimes it even goes well. But in the end, you're still miles behind, and that one shitty, feel-good thing you've always had starts calling you. It's calling you when you realize that she isn't interested. It's calling you when you're out with people who don't have to live this way just to be normal. It's calling you when you go out to eat with your parents, and you realize what a disappointment you are to them. What a waste of all that energy you were. All the time, it's calling you. Oh. Oh my God. This is getting deep. Unfluffy Gamer, hello. How's it going, Joe? Good to see you here, man. I am playing Actual Sunlight, and this game is... It's already there. Like, there's certain notes that are just hitting me pretty heavily. Not everything, but definitely some notes that are hitting me pretty hard, and I see myself having to do some self-care actually after this game is over. But for now, we proceed. Hello? Everything is great, Mom. Yeah, of course I'll have dinner with you guys this weekend. We can eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I gotta go to work, Mom. I don't know what's going on with either of them. No, I know. I know. Okay. Bye. Don't go to the roof. I thought I had something to eat here, but I guess not. I'll get something on the way. Interesting. So I'm guessing that was another sort of intrusive thought, but it was... I don't know exactly. Not half bad, man. You seems like a bit of a tearjerker, right? To say the least. I mean, I can definitely see this being intense. A tearjerker, it's hard to say, but only one way to find out. Leave the apartment? Yes. Let's see, do you want to save your game? Yes. It's weird that it starts on file 3. That's a phone. That's not an elevator. Okay. Street. Oh, okay. There's definitely going to be a lot of reading here. So let's proceed. Patient transcript. Evan Winter. Do you understand that, in many ways, you're very fortunate? What do you mean? You've had access to education and security. You're a white male. There's a great deal of privilege intertwined with nearly everything about who you are. I don't know. I feel an awful lot like a member of that club in name and sight only. I don't have some friend with a cottage. I've never participated in any mud-based fitness challenges. And there are no adorable blondes meeting me for blind dates at ironic board game cafes. Okay. Those aren't the types of advantages I'm talking about. I know. But they are the types of advantages that education and security make worth having in the first place, aren't they? What would even change if I lived some kind of cart life for $7 an hour? Cart life? What do you think? I think it would just mean being openly rejected by the types of people who only pretend to accept me now. And that isn't worth something? All I'm talking about is being something, but not being a part of it. Coffee? Fruit? Your image is a little bit terrifying?
Her eyes stared directly into my soul.
Oh, let's see. Won't be around long. Got work in the AM. I mean, what the hell kind of bar opens at 3 p.m. anyway? All right, man. Well, let me know when you do head out, but I do appreciate you being here for in the meantime. Thanks. Have a great day. She's just trying to be nice. She's a little bit scary, but she's trying to be nice. Recent transactions. Oh. This is a multiple choice. Okay. Let's... Grocery cart. We're helping you save every day. Please note that ATM fees have increased. Oh, that's lovely. Savings. No transactions recorded. Who isn't worried about retirement? Talk to a... Okay. Credit card. This is going to be scary. Note, payment is overdue. Congratulations, you qualify for a higher limit. Okay, well, that wasn't as bad as I expected. Dem I relate to that transaction list. Domino's, 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 Chinese, Domino's, groceries, Domino's. Yeah. If I wasn't married to Jill, I'd say mine would probably be a lot similar. Okay, and finally, all balances. Check, savings. Ooh, nothing in savings. Payment overdue. Credit card balance. Payment overdue. The security of Canadians is our first concern. Change your PIN today. Alright, so basically that was all essentially just kind of showing how the character is kind of stuck, especially in regards to just, living the kind of life he's living, I suppose. Please read this if you are a young person. By Will O'Neill. That's someone different this time. If I have any fear about putting this project out... Oh, no, wait. Is Will O'Neill the person who created this game? I can't remember. Anyway. Is it somebody who's in the midst of a difficult time growing up will see this game and think that it applies to them? I'm not going to say that I was not a lot like you. I probably was. I've struggled with feelings of anger and depression since I was very young. No more than 12 or 13 years old. I don't need to get into what the problems both causing and caused by this were and still are. I think the things that happen in this game make them pretty clear. It's also pretty clear where all of this is headed. But listen, the fact that you are young means in and of itself that you still have a lot of time to change things. That doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want, but I promise that you can do a lot better than you will if you give yourself over to despair. It's when you get into your late 20s and early 30s, like the protagonist in this game, and like me, that a lot of the choices you made earlier can start to come seriously into play. A lot of doors can begin to close. A lot of things start to go on without you. I've been the way that I am my entire life, but let me tell you something. It's different now, and I'm seeing more and more how things will only get even more difficult over even more time. In the end, that's what this game is about. An endgame. Somebody whose pain has slowly risen in excess of their ability to deal with it. Somebody whose options have become totally disconnected from fantasies and regrets they can't turn away from. This game is not a game. It's a portrait. I've created it to document something that I think is human and beautiful and real. And if you appreciate that, great. That's what art is. But don't get it twisted. It's about a 30-something corporate dead-ender with no youthful energy. No people his own age who haven't moved on in life that he can turn to, and no time or money left to change or undo any of those things. I don't care how fucked up you think your life is. If you aren't at least 25, that ain't you. So don't. Don't you fucking dare. Wow. Well, that was more than a little bit fourth wall breaking. Eh? Oh, okay. So I can actually talk to these people without it prompting the text. Christmas bullshit. Okay. By Evan Winter. When I think of what it would mean to be grown up, I have an unshakable impression of going home for Christmas Eve with my wife and my infant children. There are 3 of them, and they're all equally infantile. But they're not triplets. It's snowing outside, even though it never snows on Christmas Eve in Toronto anymore. And as my parents open the front door that I just knocked on with one of those big brass things, even though we've never had one, and obviously I don't even know what it's called, the heavenly aroma of an industrial bakery licks us across the face. Through all of this, my wife is so hot. She looks like a compilation of every girl who ever wasted my time. My father hands me a cigar and gives me the good news. We're both amazing at playing the acoustic guitar. It's a Christmas miracle. Later on that evening, I'm sitting in bed with my wife, and she tells me that she will always love me, and that we will never die. And that's all I ever think about when I think of having kids. How much of a failure I am that I cannot use the world I have described here to exist. Or that I cannot cause the world. Let's see, do you say anything? School, school, school! You have terrifying eyes too. And you don't actually talk to me. Okay. My career passion is to not be a stabbed homeless guy. Yeah. By Evan Winter, uncertified life coach. When you sit down to do your daily 1-hour personal career goal timeout focus of affirmation session, what amps you to the max? What motivates and engages you to take it to the next level? I mean, we'd all like to imagine the possibility of prosperity for everyone, or at least everyone of our ethnicity with a similar educational background, but some people are winners, whereas others are merely honest. In the past, it was relevant for people to look at their professional arc a lot differently. What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? What type of commute or living environment really meets your personal needs? What sort of retirement situation are you envisioning? And how would you like to see your defined benefit pension plan invested? Today, However, the good news is that none of these questions matter. Today, it is simply sufficient to ask yourself if you would or would rather not drink yourself to sleep on a vent every night. Nobody likes a 2-hour commute, but would you rather walk 17 blocks in the dead of winter for a cup of soup? Nobody appreciates an inability to visit the dentist, but would you rather get your teeth clubbed out by a disgruntled police officer? And the people on top, they wonder how they ever lost this plot to begin with. Why did we ever give anyone anything, they say? Why didn't we just ask them if they'd rather be a stabbed homeless guy? I don't know what to say, but I do want to give him something. Oh, it's a homeless guy. Thanks, pal. You got a smoke? No. Sorry, man. Oh. Okay, so sometimes it does repeat the text. Okay, there we go. You still don't say anything. Okay. All right, then. Take the streetcar to work. Yes. Oh. He stares straight ahead. Continue staring straight ahead. Continue staring straight ahead. He stares ahead forever. Sorry. I'm not sitting right next to somebody. Seriously? Okay. Oh, well, social anxiety. You can see that. Whoa, those eyes. Man, everybody's got some crazy eyes in this game. Ah, God! Hey, excuse me. All Strangers Are Entrepreneurs by Evan Winter. Hi! I noticed that you made eye contact with me for a half second, and then immediately regretted it. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm disgusting. Do I want to talk to you because I sincerely cherish a genuine sense of community and goodwill toward men? Nope. I am an absolute loser, bothering one stranger after another an awkward revelation of my own failure. I'm looking for somebody to become my downline in a multi-level marketing scheme. I think you ought to change religions. I'm one of those charity people who used to wear an apron so people would know to avoid me. I want to ask you out to coffee. Rub your shoulders while the dirty sleeves of my jean jacket infect your pores. Ew! That's... Some of this just... Anyway. And then try to have sex with you before you realize that I'm unemployed. That escalated. I'm that legitimately horrible and sad person that you could one day be like. The one a dumb story happened to. The one who got a DUI, and then they found weed in my car, plus the money I stole from work. My family is dead and I have no friends and I'm desperate for anybody to talk to, even though I have nothing to say and I know that nobody likes me. Or maybe you would like me. But you don't want to know. I'm that weird, bitter asshole who barks at cashiers and hits on waitresses and holds up the universe, but I am a human being and there is nothing I can do to make God stop loving me. Everywhere I go, I tell a few people who can barely stand me the same exact thing, that everyone is just way too uptight about talking to strangers, even though I am exactly the reason that absolutely nobody wants to. Then I say, chill out! Or some other extremely dated piece of slang that solidifies me as even more creepy. I can relate to that because I'm in my 30s. This is when you realize I am trying to look at your boobs, or your shoes, or that I don't even have the confidence to meet your eye line, and some type of instinct dawns on you that says, "Hey, your shoelace is untied." Oh, thanks. Okay. Okay, so the way to proceed this is undoubtedly going to be to sit down, and it'll probably ask if I want to save the game. Whatever happens next, I am going to pause momentarily. Because I got a call from Jill, so I'm going to call her back real quick, and I will be back momentarily. Please do excuse me. Let's see what happens first. Turn the headphones up and wait. Okay, so yeah, I will be right back. Hello, hello. You may be the only person I know who actually has Opera installed. Well, I installed it primarily just in case... I did not mean to press those buttons. Installed it primarily for whenever I'm doing a little bit of web design, just to sort of double check compatibility with different browsers. It hasn't really come in handy much yet, but, you know, it's there in case I need it. So, yeah. But, yep, just talked to Jill. She's doing pretty good. And let's continue with the game. Oh. I didn't know what actually stopped me there. That's interesting. Oh, I forgot to... Sorry about that. There we are. I know, Fluffy. I know. There isn't much to say about what I do for a living. We're just like everyone else. Do we work in marketing, in finance, for the government, for the people, for good, for evil? Does it matter? No matter what. If we can make money off of it, and you ask us if we can do it, we say yes. If you ask us what we do is if you ask us if what we do is effective, the middle managers who hired us, whose job security depends on us having been effective, will tell you yes. If you ask us what we do is important, we'll point you in the direction of the media channel that makes a living off of reporting on our industry, and they will say yes. A lie that everybody can pay their mortgage with becomes the truth faster than you would believe. But, in the end, we're really just a bunch of white people pushing piles of money around in circles, while reality occurs in parts unknown. We go to conferences, and the maids break their backs cleaning our hotel rooms. We eat at restaurants while the cooks trip and immolate each in blistering oil. I feel like a word is missing there. Janitors have heart attacks buffing floors on a graveyard shift for 30 years, and all of this. For what? Networking. Best practices. Leadership. But we don't let anyone into the network, and we don't practice anything, and we don't lead anyone anywhere but someplace fucked up, where we get paid and they get dick. Then everyone goes home and does their job the same way anyways, doing exactly whatever some boss wants. So who are we, and what do we do here? We send emails, we go to meetings, we hope to one day get high enough to become invincible, and to be rewarded even when we fuck everybody and everything up. Sometimes I think, could I go my whole career without doing a single useful material thing? Did a street sweeper eclipse my social utility the day he picked up a piece of gum? Okay. The social anxiety thing? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely get that. I don't personally have social anxiety. For the most part, I do have anxiety. And then being an introvert definitely sort of it kind of implies I have a bit of social anxiety, but it's more of just like a tiredness more than anything. I don't know. But let's take a look and see. Sofa. This is a couch for guests and clients to sit on while they wait to see somebody. It's the only well-kept piece of furniture in the office. Not sure why that required a black screen. A real plant. the one in the back is fake. Okay. Poster. This is a poster with an internet meme from 2 or 3 years ago. I think the owners put it up to make us seem tech savvy, but all it really signals is the fact that we don't know when something is over. Memes can still be funny a long time afterward. I mean, I'm in my 30s, so maybe that's just me saying that, but still, I think old memes can still be funny. The well-informed and worthwhile opinions that fill the trash cans of agencies around the world. By Evan Winter, of course. I like the idea of having statements that specifically talk about the impact our product has on customers. But how are we really telling our brand story? The still image of an inanimate object really needs to have a stronger sense of movement throughout. This line of meaningless rhetoric in this thing that is fundamentally about absolutely nothing really isn't adding any value. I saw this thing last night in a movie and I loved it. Our thing should be just as good, because even though our budget is a 16th of what it took to create that, I can still remember a time when it was only half. Okay, here's the deal. I don't like this thing. I don't even have any real reason for disliking it. I dislike it the way that certain people don't like pickles or reggae. It's just idle preference. I didn't go to school for marketing or advertising or design or writing or anything like that. I just got a job at a corporation and one day they decided to shelve me here because they figured at least there was a hard limit to how much damage I could do. Another possibility is that I'm actually very intelligent, but I'm the wrong gender or ethnicity. And I need to be put somewhere prominent, but ultimately harmless. Either way, I've either come to not care that my actions are devoid of any rationale, or even more dangerously, I believe that my intuitions represent some sort of natural capability.
According to Wikipedia, a capability is the ability to perform or achieve certain actions or outcomes. As it applies to human capital, capability represents the intersection of capacity.
I didn't talk to you. Apparently Google thought I was talking to it. That's weird. Anyway. Necros is, I just don't like people, they irritate me. Coffee helps me pretend I like people though. Feel you there sometimes. I've either always been like this and consequently started my own company because I was incapable of working for someone else, or it happened to me after being promoted to a level high enough that people just stopped bothering to disagree with you. So, you know, I'm just not sure about the blue. Okay, I'm not sure if that last part, I thought that was supposed to be like the main character talking, but I think that was sort of his reflections on like an executive, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. Troy. You'll have to come back in 5. I'm just getting ready for a call. I actually don't even know why I'm standing here. Where did I put the proposal? I just had it. It was right here last night. I don't have time to look for it. Natasha, I need another copy of the proposal printed out. Please and thank you. I'm busy. Is Jackie here then? I need it for my call. I don't know why I don't have it. It was literally standing here last night. This is Troy. Nobody likes Troy, including me. But I feel for him. He's married, late 40s or so, commutes 2 hours from the deep, deep suburbs every day and works on weekends all the time. I can't even imagine the last time he saw the house he spends every day paying for in the actual sunlight. Name drop! 3 kids, wife doesn't work, and even though he's the most experienced and senior person here, there's always a palpable sense in the air that he would be the first person to wipe down the urinals if the owners told him to. I think about what he might have been like as a younger guy, at his wedding, or one of those other things that make you feel like the future has a future. That was like the first not total downer thing I feel like that happened in this game. Natasha. Oh, Evan. How are you doing? Hey, Natasha. How's it going? Okay. I'm not even going to try with voices. My throat hurts right now. Okay. Talk to you later, I guess. Okay. Nobody knows much about Natasha. She's a Russian spy. She... Oh, I was joking. Unfluffy Gamer Damn, this is speaking to me. Yeah, I guess for a lot of people this game definitely does. I know there are certain elements that do for me. Anyway, she can't really speak English. She does a bunch of our administrative work. She couldn't possibly make very much money. And she has a way of smiling at you that discourages any kind of follow-up questions whatsoever. She looks like she's in her late 40s, but something tells me she might look a lot older than she actually is. It's not that she has some kind of a hard chiseled beauty, though she just looks like she just looks like she's been through more than she should have. And where they found her? Who knows? Okay. Tori! Hey, message me. Huh? Huh? Logging in, online. Tori's just too early in the morning to have Natasha glaring at me. Sure. What's up? Nothing. What'd you do all weekend? Did you go out? On Friday, yeah. I went to the Jackson right after work until 3 in the morning. Don't remember it and never meant to. Don't start. I'm starting. You live in downtown Toronto, have all the free time in the world, and you go to a sports bar in a chain hotel. Why are you even alive? Whoa! I don't know. I'm not into this hipster bullshit. What hipster bullshit? You mean cool and interesting places? Drinking is drinking. What's the difference? Between sales convention tourists and people your own age? Is that a serious question? And I am not a hipster, even if saying so proves it. Okay, I misread what was being said there earlier. Why are you even alive? That was a playful jab. That's how it's meant to be taken. So, yeah, my bad. No kidding. Your parents aren't nearly rich enough. If you hate money, I can help you with that. All I'm saying is that the worst thing about nice things are the people who can afford them. Nice things would be better off with you? I don't know. It's just sad. But you love being sad. It's cool to be sad. No, it isn't. It's just sad. Okay, I feel like the Tori character is not saying she's going to be a love interest at all in this game, but it feels like someone who tries really hard to be a friend to Evan. Might even legitimately like him. I'm not sure what I think of him as a character at this point, other than just sort of being able to empathize with some of the crap he feels. But I feel like that's what it's like. She's sort of a empathetic outsider, let's say. I mean, I'm a little surprised you aren't out there going out with all kinds of chicks. Well, for a long time, women really only hurt me. I mean, it wasn't their fault at all. It was really just the natural outcome of somebody who looks like me being interested in them. You weren't, doing too well, huh? You have to understand what it does to a person to warp that emotion for so long. To turn something that is supposed to be beautiful into nothing but a signal of imminent misery. Well, we all know what that can be like. No, I actually don't think that we all do. Most people, they win some, they lose some. And it's all just some fucking song on the radio. That's a lot different than knowing for certain that your love is something that is going to hurt people you care about. And that it'll only hurt you too. Still, you've got to try. Audience laughter. No. The only thing you've got to try is to never feel a goddamn thing for anybody. Because you don't want to make them feel awkward. And you damn sure don't want their pity. So what do? Nothing, really. You try to be cool until you can't stand it anymore. And then you just stop talking to them. Boy, you're a real pal. Oh, I know. And believe me, realizing that you can either be a bad guy or a non-guy is the point where you just stop talking to women completely. Oh, so you stopped talking to women... Oh, so you stopped talking to women you were attracted to completely? Well, Sometimes you meet somebody and you just don't have a choice. Maybe all that pain just seems worth going through all over again. Maybe you think things will be different this time. No. You know better than that. You just... I don't know. I know it's really stupid. And I know it isn't even true. But I really, really love her. Well, we'll be right back after these messages with Evan Winter, the stupid liar. So yeah, late night host show completely about himself. So he does love her. Whether or not she actually returns any of those feelings is unknown. But again, I do feel like she tries. Oh, Unfluffy Gamer. Right, time to head off, man. Enjoy the stream. And catch you soon, bud. See you later, Fluffy. I'll talk to you later, man. Have a good night. Anyway. Evan? Sorry. What? Can you come to that meeting tomorrow? What? Oh, sure. You're too funny. Tori, try to work. Please be quiet. I just assume she's Russian at this point. Sorry, Natasha. Oh no, Evan. You don't worry. That was weird. Okay, let's, I already did talk to... let's talk to Russell. This is Russell. He's like a less successful version of my brother. Whereas my brother gets paid handsomely to do basically nothing, and can hire all of the lawyers and accountants in the world to defend it, Russell has mastered the limited middle-class version of this, being a sycophantic little shithead. He works from home so much that he doesn't even bother having a desk anymore. In fact, he really only shows up to the office to watch sports highlights on the plasma screen that we bought to facilitate better team collaboration. He's the kind of person whose enthusiasm is so facile, I think, and transparent that everything he says to you feels like an insult to your intelligence, assuming you have any. When it's all over, and everyone who actually does anything has been completely outsourced, the Russells of the world will be the last men standing in the corporate megaverse. They'll be on the conference calls to their bosses in China, going on about how everything is going great. Just great. Except for the following people who have really let them down. Yeah, they're just really not hitting it. They're not getting it. I'm just looking at this stuff and... geez, I don't know. It's just not right. But what do you guys think? What's up, bro? Nothing, man. Hey, can you ask your brother if he's interested in that thing I told him about? What thing? Trust me, bro, he'll know what I mean. Okay. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. Cool. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'll let him know. Fuck. All right. I feel like the placement of the characters was a little bit off. Just a little. Whoa. From Paula Young, Senior Partner / Chairwoman. To all staff. My resignation. Okay. So this is the reveal that the character Paula, who was being referred to earlier, is leaving. You have to go. Early day tomorrow. All right, Nightmare RizX. I hope you have a great night. Sleep well, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Thank you for being here for the stream. Priority high. Dearest employees, it is with a bittersweet mixture of joy and sadness that I must announce my divestment and resignation from the company, effective immediately. While I would have preferred to be available to help with the numerous surprise obstacles that this will present, the timing of my departure coincided with existing travel plans that could not have been changed without putting my elite passenger status on Air Canada at risk. Oh, I see. When I began my career as an employee at an agency similar to ours over 15 years ago, things were much more difficult. All of my peers seemed to question my opinions, dismiss my ideas, and even make faces at me as if I was some kind of stupid idiot. For me, the meaning of this was clear. I was much more capable, creative, and out of the box than everybody around me. A true maverick.
Here are some results from the web.
Oh my god. It's doing it again. I'm going to have to change the settings on my phone, apparently. Anyway, a true maverick. With the agreement of my husband and his financial support, I founded this organization. The point of this story is clear. You've got to live your values. You've got to choose the life that you want to live and make it happen, just like I did. I've often asked myself why all of you seem to be so stressed out and miserable, as if some horrifically ignorant force, oblivious to its own recklessness, is compelling you to do things that don't make any sense. Okay. Someday, I hope you'll realize that you can do whatever you want. You just have to go for it. And don't care about who else it might affect. The next chapter in my life, for example, will be through a line of motivational handbags that I message deleted. Is there an extra stapler in here? I can't find my stapler. Sorry, man. I'm not touching any of this. Okay. Curious whether... Let's see if I can actually interact with anything else up here. If not, I'll go back and... Oh! Okay. From Roy Parsons, President and CEO, to Cinder. Vacation alert. Please note that I will be out of the office this week, Monday through Thursday inclusive. If you are writing about the numerous large projects that have key deliverables due on Friday afternoon, please note that my calendar on Friday morning is limited due to a networking jog/brunch. If you are a client, please rest assured that I will cursorily review your work 10 minutes before you are supposed to have it. Okay. Blame others for my total lack of context regarding what it even is, and ask that it be completely restarted and refinished in a matter of hours, regardless of the merit or necessity of my proposed improvements to it. I bought my job and I am a clown. Okay, so this is from Evan's perspective, I can only assume. In my bottom desk drawer, though, is a god-awful television pilot I wrote about how I am a genius who brings a magical finishing touch to all the work of a company who is overjoyed to bask in my creative glory despite my near continuous absence. My petulant childishness and my total lack of solidarity with the people I am supposed to be leading. There is a scene where a beautiful 22-year-old graphic design intern tells me how artistically inspired she was by the mixtape I gave her of all my favorite bands, including the one I used to play in. I seriously have no idea how... Very truly, Roy Parsons, President, CEO, Chief Creative Officer, Ideas Guy. Okay. And I'm guessing no other interactables down here. Nope. Alright, so I'm going to talk to her once more. Don't you have work to do? Oh. I just... did. Oh wait, there's another door down here. Maybe. Ah. Before I talk to her, see if there's recycling. An oversized recycling bin of chart paper by Evan Winter. A few years ago, the bosses went on to a 3-day, $5,000 leadership seminar and came back convinced that the reason the company wasn't growing was because people weren't collaborative enough. Accordingly, with no collaboration, it was determined that everything anyone said in a meeting had to be not only written down, but written down such that arrows could jut out of it, allowing any free associations about it to be captured as well. This policy lasted for precisely one meeting, after which time the walls of the room were covered from floor to ceiling with graph paper containing what appeared to be the indecipherable corporate thought of a mental hospital. The paper was then torn down and placed into this bin, where it remains to this day. The financial problems that the company had been having would later be linked to excessive overhead in the area of leadership development. Of course, this leadership development was never recorded as compensation, and this, among other things, were not factored into the deeply disappointing salaries the owners were then forced to draw for that year. Salaries which, of course, were ample evidence of the total impossibility of providing any employees with bonuses or raises. And yet, to be honest, this story gives me a good feeling. Because I know that nothing this fucked up can go on forever. Kind of wondering what will have a more lasting effect, the tone of this game overall, or all that reading aloud. You got a good point. I do feel like when it was at the character's home, like there was some really interesting stuff going on, whereas now that we've gotten more to the office, it feels more middling. It doesn't really feel that, I don't know. It just doesn't have any real impact to it, from what I can tell so far. Oh, I'm sorry. Another patient transcript. There's somebody I work with. She's sick. It's the kind of sick that doesn't quite get you on disability. It just fucks with you dead in the middle of being able to have a job, but not able to be any good at it. She misses a lot of work for medical appointments. Is that still what you're calling them? All I've ever seen is somebody wait for 2 hours, wait another 6 hours for a test, and then wait another 3 hours to find out it was inconclusive. Where's the medicine? Where's the appointment? You're upset about this. Most people are upset about this. No, I mean, you're upset about it in a way that you usually aren't. You care about this person. And this story isn't noise. It's different. You were there. She was alone. I was around. Do you really feel that way about it? I was in a situation where refusing to help somebody would have made me very bad. That doesn't make me very good. And the last thing I want is to end up even more involved in it. Right. Except now you know what it... Excuse me. Except now you know that it might matter if you aren't. I'm fine. I know. I'll be out later. Is there a meeting in here? I don't think so. I'll check. No, don't. I just need a minute. You should go. Okay. So she also has issues that she's trying to deal with. Okay, now we can move on to the next portion. You talk about depression, but it doesn't seem to affect your ability to work an 8-hour day. I treat people who can't even get out of bed. There's something about being around people who aren't fucked up that makes me a different person, I guess. Maybe I feel like looking weak in front of normal people is the saddest thing that anyone could possibly do. So what changes when you leave? Well, there's nobody around, I guess. And what happens then? I don't know. I find myself at stupid places, doing stupid things. Are you saying you have no memory of how Are you saying you have no memory of how you get there? No. I remember how. I just never remember why. Okay. Well, all right, everyone. This stream has been going on for about an hour and a half. You know, some of which was, you know, I had to interrupt so I could call Jill back, but I think this is where I'm going to leave off for now. I am wanting to finish this game, but I think I will do so tomorrow after I get off of work. That's the plan anyway. I don't know what time it'll be. I will try and aim for around 7 o'clock, if not earlier, since I started at 7 o'clock my time today. But yeah, this game is... I'm interested to see how this all ends. And I'm also intrigued because I had the choice to go to the roof at the beginning of the game as I was leaving. So I'm curious whether or not there are multiple endings to this game, and if one of those can be if you go to the roof when you're supposed to be heading for work. Just kind of curious there. But again, thank you all for being here. Necroziz, thank you very much, as always, for being the mod here at the channel. I do feel like... I feel like this game is going to have more to it as time goes on. It just did have this sort of middling aspect to it where the character was at the office. But there's only one way to find out as we move forward. So, again, I will end it here. Thank you all very much for being here for... you know, the first day of mental health awareness here with PapaKennMedia. And if there, well, actually, I'm going to close the game here right now after I save. Let's see. Game end. Exit entirely. Okay. Let me see if I can... let's see, webcam. Unlock it there. Hi. Okay, so one thing I want to do before ending this, I know that there's only the one viewer here, Necroziz, but also since I'm going to be posting this video or this stream over on YouTube, One thing I do want to put out there is when it comes to mental health, be it mental illness, something you might be struggling with, something that you know and love is struggling with, or just something that you see others go through. Do you have any stories you want to talk about, or is there something that you would like to talk about in general? Maybe have some ideas bounced back on. As I'm not a professional with any of, mental health stuff. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist, but I do know what experiences I've been through, and I am very willing to listen if you feel like you need to share something, and if you want to hear any advice I might have, let me know. Otherwise, I will just take it as you need to talk to me and you need someone to listen or read in the case of if you write it as a comment. But just before I finish, before I close this down, Necrozes, is there anything that you have to say in regard to like mental health, mental illness, just how it might affect you in some way? While I'm waiting on your comment, one thing that I actually will mention, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in a video I'm going to post tomorrow morning over on the YouTube channel, and it's that the reason why, well, one of the reasons why there's been such a delay, such a hiatus on the channel lately is because there's been a lot of stuff going on with my family, a lot of things that have had me really down, a lot of things that have really triggered my depression. Like, lately, for the past month or so, my feeling of depression, even though I'm medicated now, is probably just as strong, if not stronger, than how I felt before I actually got medicated, before I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and a little bit farther down the line, ADHD. And just because of how intensely it's been hitting me, I haven't been able to motivate myself to really get here to the office and do recordings. And I hate that because I love doing PapaKennMedia stuff, but it really just hit me hard. And the reason why this week in particular is so important for me is because April is a month in which I lost two very close people to me. At the beginning of April, back in 2007, I lost my grandmother, my Mama Birdie, whose name is Roberta. She was my last biological grandparent, and that was really hard. I mean, I really didn't. My last grandfather passed away when I was only 2. My other grandfather passed away long before I was born. But so it's just been hard since then. It's been 11 years now since my grandmother passed away. And then near the end of April, it might have even been today, or today might even be the anniversary. I've kind of blocked out a lot of those details. My cousin, John, who was 3 years older than me, died in an accident. He had diabetes, and what they believe happened was that while he was driving, he went into a diabetic shock and ended up driving into, I can't remember the name of it, but the primary river in Charleston, West Virginia. And it wasn't until days later that they were able to get his vehicle out and figure out it was him. And it's just, for a long time now, April has been a really hard month for me. So just that combined with the stuff that's come before, me going back to Kentucky twice for family things, which for now I'm still keeping that mostly private, not putting it into any videos exactly unless my family says that it's okay. And I don't want to go against their wishes in that regard. But yeah, it's just been really hard lately. And that's why I feel like coming back and reintroducing the Mental Health Week here on the channel is just one of the best ways for me to get back into things. Because there's a lot of changes coming. There's a lot of hard things I'm going to have to do, a lot of changes that are going to have to happen. Most of which I'll be introducing or touching on as the week goes on. But yeah, I just wanted to give you all a little idea of that. And this portion here, I might actually even post this as, like, clip it and then post it as the video tomorrow on the YouTube channel. We'll have to wait and see. But let's see, Necroziz did respond. Top of my head, not anything specific. I do have plenty of mental stuff going on. Depression, anxiety, OCD, ADHD. But for the moment, everything has been pretty well. That being said, I've taught myself a lot of psychology and I've played therapist for my friends plenty of times in the past. So if you or anyone else wants to talk, I'm more than happy to help out, however. I'll give it some thought though, and maybe I'll have a story I can share tomorrow. Well, first of all, thank you very much for sharing that, Necroziz. It's amazing of you to share that with me. And I kind of know what you mean as far as a lot of things regarding psychology. Like, I've learned myself, a lot of it has been from talking and interacting with my wife, who is a counseling therapist. I've learned a lot of things through her. And I don't want to say I've played therapist, but to a degree I kind of have for some friends and things like that. So I can definitely relate to you there. I definitely can. And again, I do not consider myself to be professional and will push someone to see a professional, especially if it's something that's just so far out of my league. But I want to help people however I can. And I feel like from what you've said, that's very similar. I don't want to go into my full story on Twitch, but if you want to send me your email or add me on Facebook, I can tell you more there. Yeah, absolutely. I will, actually, while I'm here and thinking of it, I'm going to whisper you, well, if it will let me send a whisper, I'm going to send you, whisper you my email, and then you can even add me on Facebook too if you want. I don't care. But let's see, Necroziz. I misspelled it. Necro. There we are. There we are. I'm sending you my personal email. I've actually had psychiatrists look at me and laugh at how well I understand everything. That's really good. I mean, that's definitely it's really good that you're that knowledgeable about that stuff. That I'd say you're well above my league when it comes to those kind of things then. But again, Necroziz, thank you very much for sharing with me what you did there in the chat. And anyone watching this on YouTube later or even here on Twitch as a video on demand later. Looking forward to hearing what you might have to say, and I'm looking forward to bringing you all some more content tomorrow. No reactions yet. There will be one on Wednesday from the videos I've done before. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I look forward to doing it again tomorrow. So until next time, everyone, and again, Necroziz, thank you very much for being here. I will see you all next time. Later.